I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that spooky time of the year again.
Halloween special 2.0, bitch.
That's right. I can feel something tickling my body. And it ain't you, Gabe.
No, my hands are where you can see them.
Exactly. I'm sensing something, and what I'm sensing is none other than Mike Covell.
The original.
That's right. This is our favourite person to talk about the spooky events and stuff that goes on. Mike, I don't even know where to start. I know you're full of information.
What have you been up to over the past year since? I mean, it was obviously...
Yeah, it's been a year.
Yeah, it's been a year, yeah. Published loads more books.
It's my boy.
Yeah. How many books have you written now?
Well, I've written nearly 40, but I published 27.
Wow.
There's loads of sound publishers' desk waiting to come out.
I don't know how you find the time. You're doing all these ghost tours. You investigate. Mike Covell investigates. That sounds brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. I don't have the time to write lyrics. Never mind a book.
No.
Yeah, and Gabe don't have the time to write lyrics at all because I've been pressurising it.
No, I ain't writing lyrics. I'll write comedy. I'll try. He said he wanted me to write a sketch and maybe get on that. Maybe write a spooky sketch.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant. That'd be brilliant.
Prostitute use.
I mean, one of the things we like at Halloween is to get our audience a bit spooked. Yeah, so we'll delve into that in a bit, I think. Yeah, I'm thirsty.
Yeah. I'm thirsty too, actually.
I might have a break.
Legitimately thirsty.
If I slip off screen, it's because I've gone to get a drink.
There will be a break in between. We've got
Yeah.
a special segment.
Oh yes, stay tuned because we've got something amazing that Mike has done, and you'll see it. So halfway through the segment. Yeah, so Mike, back to you. You're the star of the show tonight.
Yeah.
Writing books.
Yeah, it's been amazing, really. It's just, I mean, you guys work as hard as me, so you know what it's like.
That is true. It's finding time in your life for planning things. That's what's difficult. We wanted to sort of like do this segment with you, but you're that busy that right now. What time is it right now?
Midnight.
It is midnight. Perfect.
Midnight.
Is it midnight?
Yeah, just gone.
Just gone midnight. It's witching hour with Mike Covell. But yeah, so just trying to find time to get people together. It's quite difficult.
It is, yeah. And it's finding a balance as well between like work and business and family and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
What have you done tonight then?
I was on a ghost walk tonight, so I literally left them.
Better than ours. No rain tonight.
Yeah, no rain.
Yeah.
It was nice and dry tonight. It was cold out, but it was nice and dry. There was no like scared DJs / MCs like
slash director.
All of this will make sense when you watch the segment.
Yeah. So it was a good night. Lovely group. I finished with them and then rushed across town. I texted to say I was on the way.
Yeah.
Turned up, didn't even recognise me.
Right. When you're waiting for Michael Covell, you don't expect a hooded figure. I don't know if it was because it's Halloween. Yeah. Just this hooded figure just strolling up going, alright. Oh, Mike.
He plays the part.
That's right. Was it a big group then that you take?
It was a nice group, yeah. It was a family. So apparently it was a Christmas present for the lady.
Oh really?
Wow.
So they just got a late one. So
a very, very late one.
Yeah. So the people who come on these ghost walks, are they looking for a bit of like entertainment, trying to get a bit spooked?
A lot of them are interested now in the history side. They've previously had stories that want the truth now.
Yeah.
So they come and I have all ages from kids all the way up to adults.
Wow.
A lot of groups, Girl Guides, Scouts and stuff like that.
Do you have to tone yourself down when it's kids? Do you have to start like not scared?
Yeah, because obviously some of the stories, if you're talking about sort of dismemberment and you can't really drop that with kids.
Yeah, that's true.
But you'd be surprised. I mean,
dance around the subject a little.
Yeah, a few years ago I did a lecture about Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
And when you're on stage and it projects the lights on you, you can't see your audience, which is good because then you don't get nervous. But at the end of the night, when the house lights go up, you can see your audience. And I've been showing pictures of like the murder victims, autopsy photos. I've been talking.
And then the lights come on, and you're like Mr. Tumble.
It was all kids. It was all kids. And I remember I looked across at my wife.
Yeah.
And I looked across at the lady who booked me and said, "This is it. I'm never going to lecture again."
Wow.
And I sort of said, "Is there any questions?" And all the kids put their hands up. Because they're all doing it at school.
But I bet,
they can all see this stuff online nowadays.
Exactly.
Anyway.
You watch the news and there's way stuff than that.
And also, I bet it was exciting for the kids to hear this stuff.
They absolutely loved it, and all the parents loved it. It resulted in me getting bookings for schools and going into starts and the kids.
Real respect's real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's legit. No, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, right? I've met Mike, 25 years ago?
Yeah.
About 25 years ago, and back then, I'm going to bring it up. Back then, he was on the mic. He was Mike on the mic. And he was an MC. And that's how I met him.
It's good nights by then.
Yeah, back in the days, what was I doing? I was organising parties, and he was on the mic.
Yeah.
Big pimpin'.
Yeah, it was mad times. So to see how far you've come, obviously I ain't seen you for a while. I sort of moved up the scene.
Yeah, it was weird because we sort of started speaking, but I didn't know you was you.
And I didn't realise it was you.
Yeah, so
what happened? I was actually talking to Elliot, and I was like, "Oh, we'd like to interview someone for Halloween," and he said, "I'm busy. Ask Mike Covell." But I've always known you as Mike, not Mike Covell. Yeah. So to turn up at your door and you open it and go, "All right, Leeton," that was surreal. Yeah. That was amazing.
But we spent like an hour just reminiscing about the good
old
days.
Yeah, that's right, and I think that's another podcast there, just reminiscing about the good old days.
We love birds.
Oh god, yeah. Some stuff we can't speak about.
Keep it hetero.
Says you.
Yeah, says me.
Bloody hell. So, this is not a time to start shining up your glasses.
I can't see.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Admittedly, I don't need to see the podcast.
Yes. Yeah, it's different.
So yeah, what were you going to say?
I've got questions. I've got so many questions for Mike. Where is the scariest place you have been?
One of the places that had like a lasting effect was Hull New Theatre.
Hull New Theatre?
That was a place that freaked me out. Spent a lot of nights in there. Some nights were busy, active, some nights not. But I remember one night I got scratched on my neck, and it just at that point it starts being sort of this.
Got assaulted.
Yeah. Essentially, that was something.
Call the police.
Call the police.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is, when you got scratched, did you feel it, or was it something you discovered?
It felt like someone blowing on my neck. It was only afterwards, like the cameraman was stood next to me and was like, "You've got scratches on your neck," and then I looked in the mirror and saw these 3 scratches, and I freaked out a little bit because I thought it stops being like something you're reading about and something that you're talking about, and now it's become quite real. And how can they touch you, sort of thing? You know, and you hear about furniture moving and stuff like that. You get scratched by something, and obviously it was quite sinister. I mean, why was it scratching me? But yeah, it's weird, strange place.
When you think about that time when you was in the theatre, were you trying to contact a spirit, or were you talking about them in a humorous way?
I've gone to Royal Box B in Hull New Theatre. When you start watching the show, Royal Box B is the one up on the side. And I was sat in there on my own, and I'd heard footsteps, I'd heard scratching, I'd heard a chair move, and then all of a sudden I felt someone blow my neck, and at that point I freaked out and left and rejoined my people. And I'd gone to the gents, and I was stood at the urinal, and the cameraman was stood next to me, and was having a slash, and we was chatting away and stuff. And he turned to look at me, and I had these marks on my neck.
I'm just picturing the scene, right, mate? Being scratched.
Yeah, it was like that. It was like that, you know?
Knowing you, Covell, you've investigated this, haven't you?
Yeah, well,
looked into it.
Yeah, no, I looked into it. I looked into the history of the building and stuff like that. It's got a fascinating history.
Has it always been a theatre?
Yeah, well, it was linked to a guy called Michael Maybrook, and recently he was put forward as a suspect in the Jack the Ripper case. But also a Freemason as well, so there was a lot of, people involved there.
Interesting.
Let's not drop the Freemasons, we've got enough trouble.
Yeah. The Laymen show always dips into conspiracy. It really does.
Let's keep it spooky today.
Yes, only spooky today. My next question then, Mike. Is that the time you've been the most scared on location?
Yeah, because at the time I was on my own in that box.
Surely you've been to this building many times.
I've been 3 or 4 times before.
It's still an active theatre, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still an active theatre. When all the lights are off and the curtains are down, it's pitch black in there. So if something happens in that box, there's 2 ways. You can go back down the corridor where you've heard them footsteps, or you can jump 20 foot.
Yeah.
So it's like, which way do you go, really?
Well, yeah, suicide isn't an option at that point, really.
No, I don't want to break my back.
Spider-Man across the chandelier.
So, do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah, I do believe. Yeah. I've had a few experiences over the years, so I do believe.
We've spoken about this. It comes up in the clips.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about our different beliefs and stuff.
Each their own.
Yeah, exactly. I respect everyone's beliefs, and if they believe or not.
Ouija boards?
Yeah, I mean, I don't touch them personally.
Have you ever?
I've been there when they've been done. I've seen people doing them. I've seen names come through that are relevant.
I think you're scared.
I need to pee.
Go for a break, or I'll keep talking to
We
Mike.
got a little break in between.
Yes, I've seen them being used. I've seen actual names come out that are relevant to the history that people won't necessarily know, but at the same time I've seen nonsense come out of them.
That's right, because I watched Darren Brown's Ouija, where it showed that people can be influenced to push something without even realise they're doing it. So I'm wondering, is it what did we say it was, psychosomatic?
Yes.
So what if it's a psychosomatic experience? Okay,
Collective psychosis.
yeah, like everyone wants to believe something's there, so they're all partaking in it. Not on a subconscious level, but
you could argue that when the nonsense comes out and stuff like that. But sometimes when names and dates and things come out, that's a bit more difficult, especially when you've been in the archives for hours and hours and hours researching that, and you've looked at files that no one else has ever had out before. How is that possible that information's come through? But then on the flip side of that, I've seen people pushing it, I've seen people faking it, and I've seen people, stuff will come out, nonsense, but then you'll get someone trying to rationalise that and turn it into something it's not.
Yeah, because you've got your logical thing.
Confirmation bias, they'll sort of say, well, maybe that date is relevant.
What about yourself then? When something happens, are you trying to sort it out on a scientific level, or are you looking at it on a spiritual level?
A bit of everything. So if there's a noise, I'll run towards it. I won't run away. But if there's a noise, I'll check things like door frames and window frames, I'll look for traps, I'll look for creaky floorboards. I'll look at stuff like that there and then, rather than think it's paranormal and run off. Yeah. You've got to, because the vast majority of the time, it is things like, I remember at one place we was at, something ran across the floor and this psychic guy was like, oh, it's a baby, it's a spiritual baby, and I ran after it and it was a cat. And the cat had got in the building. So, and then another time there was a lady and she saw a shadow moving across the wall. And it terrified her, she screamed and she refused to go back in the building. And we went back up there together and we stood there still. And we worked out that it wasn't spiritual or anything, it was her car passing and the light was shining onto her and her shadow was up. So in effect she was afraid of her own shadow.
Wow, yeah.
So you've got to go back and investigate. That's why it's called investigation.
I think when you're in a spooky environment, any little noise is going to put you on edge because you're in that environment, you're in a haunted building.
And the fact that it's dark,
so
your eyes play tricks with it. The fact that you're already told this building's haunted, this building's active, so people go in there already with an idea that something's going to happen. So even when things happen that are quite normal and natural, the people around edge, you'll get people jumping, you'll get them screaming, and of course you have that mass hysteria then where one person screams in the darkness, everybody screams in the darkness.
Head mentality.
Yeah, and then like someone panics and runs for the door, everyone follows, not knowing what they're running from. And it becomes like a shared paranormal experience when in actual fact it's maybe just one person being a bit freaked out.
Shared paranoia.
Yeah, so you see that a lot.
Have you ever played a trick on anyone and scared them?
Not on an investigation. But I've had them played on me. I was locked in the toilet once.
In the dark?
In Blade's house. No, the light was on at the time and I went to turn the lights off, so it was dark. I had someone jump out on me in a building that was supposedly haunted wearing a mask. So,
that stuff can give someone a heart attack, can't it?
Yeah, this dodgy ticker when people are playing tricks like that. So I've had a few tricks played on me over the years. I've seen stuff where people are playing tricks. I watched a guy get candle wax, turn it into balls and throw it at people.
Oh, that is like,
when you capture it on camera. Because then the people that are having candle wax thrown at them will believe that's a paranormal experience.
Right, everybody knows you from Most Haunted. Everyone's seen you do your segment there. Is it real? Is Most Haunted real?
Well, all the stuff I worked on, I never saw anything that I would consider fraudulent. Now, when you work on a show like that, you get to meet people, you get to see what goes on behind the scenes. I never saw anything like street or anything set up to do knocking noises or anything like that. I work with them away from the cameras as well. And when we're away from the cameras and you're investigating together, you get to see each other in action. So, and because I'm quite observant. I like to watch people's hands and feet.
Yeah.
I never saw anything on any of the shows that I've worked on where you would say it was.
Yeah, because a lot of people say it's gone on for so long, but they've never caught a ghost on camera.
Well, I remember a few years ago I was working with a group and there was a guy who turned up and he was asking for stuff to happen, and stuff would happen. Every time he
like make a noise and the noise would happen.
So I got the camera and filmed him, and it was kicking the door. So and this went on, and I reported him, and just this guy's creating fraudulent activity. And the next event he was there again, doing it again, and it like you wonder who's fooling who. You know.
Are you ready for a break? Because I think the viewers are ready for the segment that Mike Covell was nice enough to take out the Laymen. So let's roll that clip now and enjoy. We're here with a local legend, a celebrity known as Mike Covell. Mike, thank you for having us on such a night.
Yeah, we couldn't have chosen a better night.
It's atmospheric, I'll give it that.
Yeah. So where are we?
This is Prince Street. This is Prince Street Arch. This is sheltering, and it's the most photographed street in London, is this.
This looks like something out of a film.
It's been used in lots of TV shows and stuff like that in the past.
So it looks a bit Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, quite atmospheric. But this is usually where I start all my tours off. And we start here because it's undercover.
Brilliant.
Nice and dry. As you can see, the art as it's coming down.
I bet this is the first time you've had to contend with this weather.
Oh, it's not. No, I usually out walking the streets and stuff like this. So walk around, tell a few ghost stories and things like that. A little bit of history.
I don't feel anything here.
I do.
What do you feel? Is there anything spooky about this alleyway or this street?
Well, Prince Street itself was mentioned in the Victorian newspapers. There was a story about a house down there that was supposedly haunted. And it was really interesting because the gas tap kept getting turned on.
The gas tap?
Yeah, the gas tap. So whatever it was quite,
malicious.
So the guy gone to the police and told them that this was happening, and no one really believed him. And
who's going to believe you? So you go to the cop and say someone's turning on the gas tap.
Yeah, it's a weird story, and that's like from the 1800s. So it's like
they have gas taps back then.
Gas was in its infancy.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So it was a dangerous thing because back then it was overwoods.
Could it have been those wee scamps?
Could have been anything. That was very dramatic, but yeah, it could have been.
They didn't get Maunted with the Exorcist, did they?
Yeah, I'd just like to point out to our lay people, our cameraman tonight, he's been crapping himself. So if there's a bit of shaking there, it's because he's worried. Can you get a shot of this?
Walk on down, come on baby.
That's
slowly,
right.
Slowly.
Oh, that was funny.
Where would you normally go after her then?
Well, usually we'll take a walk down to Whitegate. There's quite a few spooky places down there.
Any of the shops haunted down there?
Well, there is an old inn down there, and there's stories attached to the old inn. Looking at that way, if you want to go. There is an
What I was going to ask you was, right in this background here, we've got this ancient church. How old is this church, Mike?
It dates from like the 1300s.
The Holy Trinity.
Yeah, so it's an old minster. Beautiful building.
Right.
And on a night, it's all illuminated.
I always associate churches with graveyards. Could this be in a graveyard here?
It was up to when the metal.
Quincy, you should move the body.
Yeah, the bodies have gone. They've been dug up, but then I suppose when you do that, you get sort of unrest and
bad juju.
Yeah, so they've been moved on.
Do you know when they exhume bodies and move them?
You need a priest, I assume. A resident priest on the premises.
No, that's what I mean. Do they re-bless them?
They
do another sermon?
And then they'll be buried elsewhere. Usually catalogued as well, so we know who they are and kind of background story and stuff like that.
Because I'm wondering, right, if some of these spirits are like pissed off because they've been here for so long, or the spirits are still there.
You can imagine that when you die, you expect to rest, don't you? You don't expect to get dug up and turned into a car park.
Speaking of digging up graves, do people still grave rob?
Do they still break up?
Yeah.
Not that I know, but
No evidence of yet.
A weird cottage industry or something, you know.
Who knows? But yeah, there's reports of people digging stuff.
I can imagine maybe not in this country.
Well, I mean, it's in the tarmac at the minute, so they need a digger. But yeah, stuff still goes on. But yeah, around the world, stuff still goes on.
So do we have any sightings in this particular area?
Yeah, I mean, where we are right now, the old schoolhouse just behind is there. This was an old grammar school.
So this building here,
Yeah.
that was a school.
The story goes that when you look up at the first floor, there's an old vicar from St Mary's Church that looks out the window and gives you a little bit of bad luck and stuff like that.
Well, so much for being, a vicar and going to heaven.
Well, this is the thing, you see, when you look at the history of it, there's no such guy connected to the building.
Wow.
So it's just one of them urban legends that's been created and passed around from generation to generation.
Right.
And in fact, in terms of sightings, people in there have seen a man that looks like he's dressed as a school teacher, which fits in with the history.
I've got shivers. I don't know if I'm cold or if it's creepy.
It's because we stopped moving.
Yeah, so should we head to another location?
We're going to keep this one short today because the weather's not on our side.
Yeah,
It's not, is it?
I don't want my camera to get ruined, so we're going to pause it here and you can catch up with us at the next place.
Right.
The trees are moving like a horror movie, look. Can we get the trees in, bro? That's spooky, look at this.
Just end on that fucking...
Yeah. Where are we now? We're in some sort of entranceway.
We are, yeah. In fact, I can show you. We're underneath what was Neptune Inn.
Neptune Inn?
Neptune Inn was a coaching inn. People would come here and do dinner dances and tea dances and stuff like that.
It's very grand, it looks like a mansion.
It was beautiful.
Have a few drinks.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah, and dance the night away, but as a business it never really took off.
Yeah.
So it was turned into the old customs house.
Lovely building, though.
Oh, it's gorgeous. When it was a customs house, this guy worked here, and his name was Robert Thompson Stevenson.
Now that is a powerful moustache.
That is a moustache of authority there.
That is, yeah.
So was he the landlord or the owner?
No, when he worked here, he was just like a clerk.
Really?
He just basically was a pen pusher.
Wow.
He wrote ghost stories about Hull.
Did he?
So one of the ghost stories he wrote was a love story based on Barmston Drain, and he used to tell everyone that once a year he met the love of his life on Barmy Drain. And every year she'd say, promise we're dead or alive, you'll come back.
It's funny how times change, because if you meet a bird on Barmston Drain now, she's probably on spice.
Isn't that werewolf in Barmston Drain?
Exactly.
Yeah, the beast of Barmston Drain, yeah. I think Mike's covered this story.
We talked to him about it last time he was on the show.
Yeah.
Podcast.
Interesting that there's another reference to...
Yeah, well it's weird because he wrote this story and every year he met her on that one night. She's the love of his life, but he only meets her once a year. I mean, what kind of relationship's that?
That is a relationship with no commitments.
And then...
But once a year, I mean...
Well, he turned up one
he has
year.
other women.
I'm assuming he did, but that never goes into the story.
Once a year.
And then he basically went out to meet her one year and she wasn't there, and a ghost appeared and whispered in his ear.
Whoa! Got shivers.
So that was his story, but we think he nicked it from somewhere else.
Alright, so you don't believe he actually went to meet her?
No, because when he left Hull and went to London, he re-released the story and said it happened on London Bridge.
Oh man!
So just a bullshit.
So yeah, but inside the building, which is absolutely beautiful, people have reported hearing footsteps upstairs, people dancing.
Is this still in there now?
This is still in there, yeah. They used to open it up on the Heritage Open weekends. At one point it was used by the staff at Books. They'd go up there for the dinners, pack lunches and stuff like that in a historical hall.
Like royalty.
Exactly, yeah. So people have reported stuff upstairs, boxes moving, stock moving, stuff like that.
What about here? I mean, this gated part here. Anything wrong here? Zebedee's yard?
Not so much down Zebedee's yard here, but you can expect there's a lot of history in this area where we are right now.
Is that your thinking face, like?
That's me wondering what is around here really. Because you can see the old architecture is still up there now.
Oh yeah.
When you look up around these edges, look.
The beading on the ceiling there. And then if our director could take a few steps back, you'd be able to see.
Oh no, it's raining, director.
Well, above is Mr. Neptune.
It's on the outside up there.
If you come to Hull,
don't shy, don't.
Yeah, shy. Don't risk it.
I might get abducted.
Yeah.
If you come to Hull, if you live in Hull,
Just come down White Friday Gate, you'll recognise.
Yeah, if you come to Hull and you want to do one of these ghost walks, Mike Covell is a man to see. Check out amazing Hull tours. Seriously, this guy knows his shit.
Facebook, easiest way to get in contact with
Yeah,
you.
Facebook,
Twitter, email, snail mail.
Pigeon.
Yeah, pager, who knows?
Yeah.
Just do it all. But this guy, I think, has the most knowledge, and this is why we picked Mike to come out with. He seems to have knowledge about everything that's paranormal or historical about Hull.
And also check out his DJ.
Oh yeah, yeah, check that out too. Yeah, right. So what's next then?
Well, there's another nice little arch where we can go down and we can hear about a Victorian prostitute that was murdered.
The word prostitute was, caught my attention there.
I bet it has, like. You dirty old man.
Let's move to the next location. Do you know what? I'm sensing something here. Tell us about it,
Feeling the spirit.
Well, according to some stories, this is where a 19th century prostitute called Fanny Adams was made.
Fanny Adams? Was there a programme made about Fanny Adams?
Well, according to the story, she was killed down here and she haunts this very passageway.
I feel shivers on my spine, I'm not joking.
That's the story. But when you look at the history, Fanny Adams was an 8-year-old girl that was killed in Alton.
Oh, that changes everything.
I'm still hard.
So she was murdered by
Yeah.
a solicitor's clerk.
Wow.
She was bribed with sweets, and that's where the saying comes from, Sweet Fanny Adams.
Bitch.
So people have taken that story and put it in and created a false ghost story around it.
Has there been any sightings here?
No. So
Throw up some big old quotation marks around that.
So it is like an urban legend, really.
Right.
But next to us, we've got Barracuda. I'm sure you remember Barracuda from back in the day. People have reported seeing stuff in there. That was an old youth detention court. So if you was a naughty boy in the 70s and 80s, you'd go there. Before that, it was a console, and before that, it was a gentleman's club where men would go and drink and stuff
So
like that.
was she from there, this urban legend? Is this where it came from?
No,
the
just,
club?
someone has just created it in this area.
Can we get the film crew just to film this archway up here? Because obviously there was glass in there at some point.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful architecture.
Yeah.
I mean, this goes right back to the Victorian period.
I'm looking at this here. What's this?
Coat hanger for really tall people.
Looks like it maybe holds like some type of
Like brace or bar?
Yeah, like maybe a ladder or it's
a tapestry or something maybe. I don't know why you have a tapestry outside, but
Well,
that did
this.
look like a door.
Look at this doorway here.
yeah, and it's all
This is like. This is ancient, isn't it? This little doorway.
yeah. And this building that we've got on this side, this was an old solicitor's office. And before that, it was an insurance office, and they had big vaults underneath and stuff like that. So the area that we're in is really historical.
Do you think there's any? What's behind here now then?
Well, now it's a solicitor's office, but at some point that would have been probably a delivery door or something like that.
Yeah, because it's got a little flap or something that was here. Look at this. Have a look through, Gabe. There may be a surprise on the other side.
See what happened, glory hole it. Ooh.
So yeah, it's an interesting area for the history, but like I said, there's a made-up ghost story attached to it.
Yeah.
And,
What's this stuff on the walls? Ectoplasm?
I'm not quite sure actually what the white stuff is.
Looks like snow spray.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like ant powder or something. I'm just joking.
There's
That's right.
a lot of filming in this area and TV shows and that down here as well, so it's quite
If you want to get on TV, people.
That's right. I mean, these locations. To think I've lived here in Hull all my life, and I've never been to this place before. I've probably passed it a million times, and I've never walked down here. What about you, Gabe? Any reasons to come down these spooky alleys?
No, not when that looks like that.
Yeah, it's, I mean, the light's gone off, but when we first came down and the light came on, someone
Shaz
jumped.
petrified.
What is it?
Someone stood there. I ain't lying to you.
Okay, point the camera.
I swear there was someone there.
I thought your face dropped.
No, honestly,
No, there is somebody actually down
there
there.
was
Yeah.
someone there.
It might be because there's flats down there.
No, there is
so-
actually somebody down
There's some
there.
of the what an actual
I don't see
An
person.
actual
anybody.
person.
Where? Let me see.
No, he's gone honestly.
I wondered why your face had dropped.
No way, I swear I see something there.
You.
Whoa. Okay.
Well, unfortunately, people, I don't see anything down there.
And I thought I was autistic.
Oh God.
Shah's got a funny
There
colour.
was some.
I know.
There was,
We have picked the bravest cameraman in the world, seriously.
Shall I smell shit? You
So, is there another location that you're taking us to?
Yeah, if you want to, we'll find another archway and we'll go and shoot down there where it's nice and dry.
Last one, motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's really getting really bad up there at the minute.
Yeah, well, I wanted us to get spooked out a bit. I thought,
That's not
you are the ultimate cynic, right? You don't believe in paranormal, ghosts, anything, do you?
No, I don't believe myself.
Whereas Mike could tell you loads of things that he's experienced.
You see, what I like to do is I like to find history behind it. Why has it happened? What historically has happened in the past that lends weight to that story or debunks that story?
I mean, I can't fault you for being interested in it, but
No, just like here, where he's mentioned like a prostitute was killed, Fanny Adams, blah blah blah. But he's found out that it was an urban legend. But what if it was true? And then I don't know. You felt something,
But what if it was true and you felt something?
Yeah, would you feel that? There's something, tickling my
You know
butt
what I
cheeks.
mean? Even if ghosts do exist, what does it matter?
I want you to experience it. That's what it is. I want you to experience something.
I believe I've seen a ghost. I just...
Oh, whoa.
We talked about this.
Yes.
I just don't believe that they're real. I believe that it was some figment of my childhood imagination.
Brilliant. Are you okay, Shy, behind the camera?
Have you seen
yeah,
a
I'm
ghost?
fine. I'm sorry, I saw some kind of figure down there.
He's shaking.
He is, he's actually shaking.
I just saw a figure because the lights keep going out and I get a strange...
Film it, bro. You might catch someone on the camera that we can't see.
But they're automatic lights, so if there was someone down there, come on, wouldn't it?
Not now, but there was something down there.
I don't know what this is, but it's hilarious. I need to... This...
No, it seems to have gone.
Okay, we're moving on to our next location. Oh, music video. Look at this ancient light. With its modern bulb. Energy saving.
So where the fuck are we now?
Yeah, where are we now?
So we're under the arch at St Mary's Church.
St Mary's Church.
And this is just round the corner from where we are. In the 70s there was a newspaper report published about two properties that were supposedly haunted. One of them was a vicarage connected to this building and the other one was a solicitor's office. And they were both in the whole times and stuff had been going on. And then in St Mary's Church, people have reported seeing a little old lady looking at the graves and stuff like that. So there's a lot been reported in this area over the years.
Why are there two churches so close together, I just realised?
Well, back then you would have had like Church of England, Catholic, Protestant, all different churches.
What I was going to ask you was, this is the original building here?
Yeah.
Was the footpath maybe up there and these were entrances, blocked off entrances?
Oh no, the old pictures show this as an entrance that went all the way through,
Yeah,
and then through there that would have been up to the tower.
Oh, right.
Was this, I don't know, like the...
Just out of curiosity. Nah. Anyone got lockpick?
No. Could try though.
Knock on the door, just in case. Can you imagine if it knocked back?
Oh, if he was funny, he would have knocked on that door.
So yeah, there's a lot of history in this area, a lot of stories, and I like it here because it's undercover, it's nice and warm, it's not as bad as it is out there on there.
Yeah, how old is this place then?
Again, this is from 1300s.
1300s.
You're looking at a lot of history.
Germans dodged it with the bombing.
Exactly, yeah, both the churches. I mean, in the First World War, the building next to Holy Trinity was bombed, but they missed the church. There was a bit of superficial damage, and then in the Second World War, they missed them all as well. So,
I was just admiring the brickwork. Look at it. They don't build buildings like this anymore, do they?
Stones are massive.
Yeah. And all this was hand carved back then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And you look at these lines. You know what I mean?
Being bitched in here though.
Yeah.
Don't see a paint of double glazing inside.
No.
No, it's beautiful. I'm gonna love that old architecture. Would you consider this Gothic?
Oh, definitely, yeah. And like on the gargoyles above the door and stuff like that, just amazing.
Yeah, look at that.
Not getting spooky with it.
I mean, what did they represent? Was that maybe?
That represents botched plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what is it?
He looks like Daniel at Westbrook, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Look at the other one. It's actually this one's a female and this one's a male, isn't it?
Yeah, and this one's a Heineken beer bottle.
Another powerful stash.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, he looks quite religious, like with that hat on.
Yeah.
Look at the door.
It's a strong chin as well.
Do you know what I mean? So is this church still in use?
Yeah, they still use the church. Last event I went to, it was a fashion show. So they still do stuff in the church.
I don't think Jesus would approve.
Well,
Hand over the tables on the stage.
it wore clogs and stuff, didn't it? So,
Yeah. Wow, so it's been interesting, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been good. Cold.
It's been cold, miserable, but luckily Mike Covell himself has cheered us up. I no longer feel the cold.
Like we said last time I was on, he could have his podcast on his own and just talk.
Exactly, do you know what I mean? We're tuning, definitely.
Shoot the shit.
Yeah.
History and ghosts.
I know. I mean, that's what you do. You do some
yeah,
historical lectures, don't you?
Oh yeah, I stand on stage with no scripts and just talk for hours on end. And,
Sounds like layman material here, bro.
Questions.
Yeah?
You know, we'll have to come and heckle you.
Yeah, definitely. So a big thank you to Mike Covell for bringing out the Laymen on such a shitty night in Hull. It's freezing, can't feel my fingers.
I can't feel my dick.
What was that? Did you hear that?
There's one of the pubs.
Did you hear that noise?
Residual, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was the monks emptying the bottles.
But yeah, big thank you to Mike Covell, yeah, big love. And this is the Laymen, we're going out now. Yeah, so peace. Oh, big thanks to Shy, the cameraman with the big balls.
So, I'm not. Good clip, wasn't it?
It was a good clip, but unfortunately we didn't catch any spectres.
Spectres, I mean, Shy might have shot himself.
Yeah, you may have noticed that we used our resident DJ Freestyle as the cameraman that night. And honestly, give him a camera and a light and he thinks he's flipping Spielberg.
Quentin Tarantino.
Telling him, we're all in position and he shouts, action. I was just dying.
Are we going to leave that in on the video?
Yeah, definitely. I'm leaving all the funny bits. Wherever we post it, it'll stay like that, yeah. As you've seen it.
Raw.
Raw.
That's how we like it.
Yeah.
Raw dog.
Yeah, baby, I like it raw.
So, let's talk about what we did.
Yeah, it was. Did you enjoy it, Mike? Was it different?
Yeah, it was good.
I was hanging around with a lot of actually trying to
It
stay
was.
over it.
Yeah, it was essentially just a quest to stage right.
Yeah, quest to stage right, listen to some stories.
Well, that's it. Mike Covell's that busy, so we had to get. We had made arrangements, and I thought it was raining all morning. I thought it would die off. It was torrential. Seriously.
But again, it was like a middle of the night shoot. It was like.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We'd gone out quite late.
Yeah, I think it was like 12:30, wasn't it?
Yeah, we
That
started.
was exactly 12.
It wasn't until the bells was ringing.
12 o'clock midnight, we're walking around the city.
And it was funny because every time the bells rung, we just finished filming that segment.
Yeah.
And then the bells would start ringing, and Shy was like, "Oh, I've just missed the bells."
Yeah.
Everywhere we went.
He really wanted the bells in the background.
Yeah, it was so funny.
We'll have to splice for whom the bell told.
Well, he turned around and he goes, why don't we have them as special effects?
Yeah.
Afterwards, bell noises, we could download an MP3. He had all these ideas, honestly. Giving him the cameras.
It was really fun working with him. It was his first ever shoot.
Yeah.
But it was his first ever ghost walk or whatever.
That's right.
It was double nervous.
Yeah, it was scary already. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if we should mention the seatbelt.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, people, we're sat in the car. Me and Mike are sat in the front of the vehicle, waiting for Gabe to turn up. And we were talking about spooky incidents and things, and Shy, Freestyle, was already a bit nervous and scared. As we're talking, we're laughing, I turned around, and I see him sat in the back, like a mannequin, with his seatbelt still on. And I said,
Why is it ghost?
I said to him, why you got your seatbelt on? And he goes, oh, I thought we was going somewhere. Mike turned on and goes, scared of getting alien abducted and anal probed. Oh God. Yeah, I want to hear about the gory side now. We've talked about places you've been, but gory things.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the work I do is going back into the archives and finding out what our places are on it. What is the backstory?
Yeah.
So a lot of that is death and murder and suicide, and you know, I often research stuff that is quite dark. You know, one of the things I worked on was a project about all the murders that had taken place in Hull.
Yeah.
And it was stuff, I mean, there's average murders in there, you know, there's just men murdering women and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then there was a lot of stories where parents would murder the kids. And in the 1870s, a lot of servant girls would get pregnant to the man in the house. They would have these illegitimate babies, and then the babies would be dumped all over. So through the 1870s, there was finding babies in the docks and in the railway station. And some of them were, you know, they'd been born and smothered. And some of them had been, you know, there was a case where one was chopped up and never identified the poor thing. And there was, you know, one lady had dumped it in the cemetery, which is quite sad when you think about it.
Is this why, like, when we look back in history, there's orphanages everywhere?
Yeah, I mean, basically a lot as well. If you can imagine back then, there was no like NHS.
Yeah.
There was no benefits like we have today. So when their father went away to sea, if he died at sea,
that's right.
The mother would be left with nothing.
Shit.
Yeah, so for her to make a bit of money, she has to go to work. If she goes to work, who's going to look after the kids? So the kids would go to the orphanage. So you found out a lot of places, you know, we had a lot of orphanages. There was a lot of heartache and stuff like that. And then, you know, when they died, they were buried in paupers' graves and things.
Wow.
So,
Shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was quite a few. There was one on Allenby Road and one on Beverley Road. And they were big places and not very nice places to be, as you can imagine. And then there was even a case in the warehouse on Beverley Road where this guy had gone into the kitchen, had gone crazy, grabbed a knife and killed everyone in the kitchen. So even in the warehouse, which was supposedly a safe space, like a safe haven, that was going on in there as well. So,
wow, it's mental. What about your own? I mean, are you ever afraid of taking something back home, like an evil entity or demon?
I thought you meant like a woman from town.
No, but like some evil. What are those things? Divot boxes, what are those?
Well, there's two schools of thought there. The first one is it's a mystical box.
Yeah.
Inside it attracts souls, it's covered in wax and there's a blessing set over the top. The other side is it's all Mickey Mouse bullshit. Making a lot of money on eBay from, you know, preying on people's being scared of that sort of
thing. Because we've seen one, haven't we?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, kind of the entire dichotomy of the
trapping an evil entity.
No. I mean, like the paranormal. Some people just don't believe it and think it's bullshit, and there are people that do believe it as an industry.
What about the people who experience something and then fully dive into it? Like, if you experience like seeing something that you can't explain, or even if somebody in your family, you know, somebody says they're possessed, and then a priest blesses them and they're all right. You know, they can change, can't they? Have you ever met anyone?
The thing is, I mean, like the thing is about boxes, right? This is for me. Throughout the years, you hear about ghosts and stuff walking through halls, and you see them like ankle deep because they're walking on a floor that was there before.
Yeah.
So they're walking through concrete, trapping them in a bit of wood, and covering them in candle wax. That just sounds a bit geeky to me. It doesn't sound like it's gonna. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they say that they're sealed with a curse or a prayer or a spell.
A spell, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
which is a bit weird considering it's supposed to. I didn't know that spells were a part of any sort of Judeo-Christian
well, this is the
culture.
The mythology of them is growing and growing and growing.
Yeah.
So
one would assume that a spell would technically be like some sort of demonic thing. Would be
exactly. Yeah. Well, there's like black magic and white magic. So.
And then my ignorance just flowed out. Sorry.
So
we are the laymen.
In terms of like blessings and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I've been to house blessings. I've been to what you could call an exorcism.
Have you? So you've actually been present?
And I've seen someone change from being quite rigid and he didn't want to. There was a Bible in the room. He wouldn't go near the Bible. He wouldn't touch the Bible. We eventually got to hold the Bible and he held it away from him. And I don't believe in God or anything like that. But the minute he had that Bible on his stomach, his whole body seemed to change.
Wow.
And it was weird. I mean, just to sit there and stuff.
So what was it like before then? Was he
very uptight, wasn't sleeping, he was having really bad depression, suicidal thoughts.
Could it be a mental condition? I mean,
it's quite possible. Yeah, it's quite possible. We sat and talked about that before. And
have you seen him since?
Yeah, do you know what? He's a changed person. And the weird thing about that is, immediately after, we left him laid on his sofa and he fell asleep. Hours and hours later, I think about 7 hours later, he inboxed me and said, "Do you know what? I love your kid."
How old was he? Was he
about our age, so not like
30? Yeah.
Was this man previously religious? Was he a Christian?
No, nothing like that. So yeah.
And how long had he been like this? You know, this.
Well, this was an apparition. As a young boy, he had a friend who was a girl, and something had happened to her, and he believed that through his life she was with him, and he believed that she could sort of take over him and things like that, and she could give him bad thoughts and stuff. And like you wear that and you think, oh, maybe it's just like there is some mental condition there. Mm. When you're in the room and you see how he's reacting and stuff like that, you know, and at the end of it, he's like pouring with tears and stuff.
Yeah.
Like
very emotional.
Stuff like that. It's like, okay, it's quite interesting. And I'm quite analytical, so I would just sit there and think, you know, oh my God, like Jesus has come down and the angels and shit like that.
Yeah.
I'm sat there thinking, right, okay, so maybe this is power of suggestion, or maybe this is genuine, or
so you're
all the time I'm thinking about different angles of why this is happening.
Yeah, that's why I said, you know, people are probably looking either for a scientific explanation or a spiritual one.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, in all reality, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter as long as the guy feels better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if it's right for him, then more power to him.
It was a
so does he feel this girl that was with him?
Did I feel it?
Or did you feel anything?
No, never.
No.
It was really funny because the guy I was with who was performing it was sort of saying, you know, there's a colour of a light and you go towards the light, and I was sat there like looking around like, can't see anything. But yeah, it was weird to be in that room. And as well, when we first went in that room, the room felt I didn't feel right. I'm not psychic, I don't have feelings like that. But you know yourself when you're in a situation when stuff's about to kick off. You'll know from Clubland yourself when stuff's about to, you know it's about to kick off.
Yeah, there's an atmosphere.
There's an atmosphere. It was like that when you go in the room, and then afterwards it felt fantastic. It felt like someone had just opened all the windows and, you know, fresh air was blowing through.
Wow. Do you know what? I think I'd like to sit in on one. I don't know if they'd let the laymen sit in on an exorcism, but I'd love to observe it.
I'm sure we could probably watch one online, live
stream. No.
Get shy and I need to DJ.
I'd love to actually be there, physically be there. And, you know, like you've experienced watching somebody change.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that for myself.
It's probably one of those things that you do need to sort of see to believe, but the cynic in you will always shine through.
The cynic in you will always shine through.
But that's good, that's healthy, you know, because the way I operate is I look for the normal, you know, and try and work out, and then once you've ruled out all the normal, what is left but the abnormal. But that's good, because I mean, I always say to people, when people go on these investigations and stuff like that, you get people, the slightest thing is paranormal.
Yeah.
You know, and it might be like a dripping tap, and you might say, well, it's actually a dripping tap. Yeah, but what made the tap drip? Right, you know, the plumbing.
I mean, what
which goes on and on.
You hear a lot of stories of like more prominent things like light switches coming on and off. A lot of electrical faults.
Well, have we seen any fucking phantoms driving cars? If they could.
I've seen ghostly cars and stuff like that. Ghostly coach and horses and stuff. If you go back.
Yeah, what about that field where they say they see a ghost army?
Yeah, well, Marston Moor. Yeah. Up in North Yorkshire. Yeah. That was a big battle during the English Civil War. People have seen like cavalry and.
Yeah, the war reenacting, but as an apparition.
So maybe that's a future night to go and.
I was going to say maybe we don't have enough modern ghosts that actually have learned how to drive yet.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, because that's what I'm waiting for. Someone to say they've seen a modern ghost in a trackie.
Yeah, well, I mean, I remember a few years ago there was a story I got from Orchard Park saying there was a motorbike and it crashed and the kid only died, and people had kept hearing this ghostly motorbike and stuff like that, and it meant like there was one on Barnsley Street in Easton. Yeah. There was a motorbike, and I remember the story as a kid. I remember the motorbike hit a pylon and the guy's head come off. Jesus. And it killed him. And people were saying afterwards they had this motorbike and looked out and there was a man walking up and down looking through his head. I'm
sorry, I know this is real serious. All I've got in my head is Ghost Rider. I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, that's a sweet note to end on, I think.
No, I could go on. We could go on with Mike. That's the thing. Yeah. We could just keep talking. He's got so much I want to hear about.
I know.
Yeah, I think we should leave on something scary. I think you should tell the viewers something scary.
I mean, a decapitation was pretty scary. But
I know. I think I'm getting spooked. I might do a 3-star and just sit here like a mannequin staring at the screen. Yeah. But so what's in the plans? What's in the pipeline for you?
I've got next book's coming out. It's about ghosts and hauntings in East Yorkshire.
Wow. So when you say East Yorkshire, how far are we talking? North York North and.
No, because that's not.
Oh, that's North Yorkshire. Forget that. But yeah, because I hear about ghosts up there. You see.
Yeah, I am working at the minute on a book about North Yorkshire.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, but that's like research.
So,
yeah, East Yorkshire's like Hornsey.
Whitby's famous for Dracula, isn't it?
Yeah, Spare Point, all the little villages and stuff like that. Cumran Bezel, Anlaby, places like that.
That's why I was in Bezel the other day.
Yes, I do come round these areas a lot.
Yeah.
Gets out and about.
That's why I was there.
Holler at him on Facebook.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Sweet as
yeah, that's what I was going to say. If people want to come on one of these ghost walks, how do they get in touch with you?
Check out Amazing Old Tours on Facebook.
Amazing Old Tours. Put it in your bookmarks or whatever you do.
Yeah.
Facebook too.
Possibly one of the most knowledgeable guys about horror.
Absolutely. I mean, I could spend a full day with Mike. I think you should invite the Laymen on one of your little Mike Covell Investigates.
Yeah, we'll go out one night.
Mike Covell Investigates. Trust me, I think that's going to stick.
When it's dry though.
Yeah. Yeah. What he doesn't know is everyone knows who David Hasselhoff is, don't they? The Hoff.
Yeah.
You know him off Baywatch. The drunk guy who was on doing a laugh feed while he was learning his face.
Who doesn't know who David Hasselhoff is?
Well, I'm naming someone today. This is the Cov.
The Cov.
Well, thank you, Mike.
No,
brilliant. Nice to see you. Alright, so anyway, you lot lay peeps, keep in touch. We've got Patreon, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, just whatever, just go online, look for us, alright? Stop being lazy. We've got some stuff in the pipeline as well coming up. We've got some interviews booked in, some good guests, and we've got Judge Jules to go to, haven't we? You looking forward to that? That answers the question.
I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.